So we tried in this work to combine statistical um, expertise and statistical significance from these various measures with um, uh, significance drawn from interpretation. Interpretive significance and understanding is just as important as Eli was just describing as statistical significance and statistical patterns that you find in these families' lives. And the question then was, well, let's go and find the software and methods that will allow us to simultaneously put up on the screen or on paper the quality of life, the experiences, the stories, the narratives that the parents and kids were telling us, along with our quantitative information on how they were doing on a variety of scales. And there was no such software.
Can I interrupt you just for a second, Tom? Because one of the things that's specific to the EFI that was a epiphany moment for me was the ratings. There are ratings as part of this, and so you're describing a lot of the stories and how it combined with other quantitative measures that were being applied in the same study or related studies, but built into the EFI. Well, I guess maybe you're getting there. It's just gathering all the data that we needed. Okay. Excuse
So
me.
Eli's capturing the exact situation that we were in. Because on the one hand, we had the problem which we can kind of summarize or crystallize as what the hell does a 3 mean? If a parent circles a 3 on a 7-point scale, why did they circle that 3? What does that mean? And if you ask them why, they will tell you a story or a narrative about why they circled a 3 instead of a 7. The next parent will maybe circle a 3 and give you a different story, a different interpretation of why they circled a 3. So we had to solve the why people circle a 3 problem. So to do that, you needed to take the quantitative data and provide an interpretive story, an account of that. On the qualitative side, we had a similar problem. People told their stories and narratives, and there were themes and topics that came up again and again. How you deal with the siblings, how you deal with therapists, how you deal with the medical community. What about your spouse or partner? What about schools? How do you finance the medical services that the child might need? What do you do about your relatives? We many parents talked about religion. So there were all these common themes cross-cutting all the 102 families we had in the study, and that's where the scales and ratings came from. Because you could look across all the families and say, well, let's summarize what they all said about the siblings and religion and therapists, and we can make a interpretation, a judgment as to whether they were extremely satisfied or dissatisfied, whether it was very helpful to them or not helpful to them, whether there was a lot of hassle and trouble with the siblings or whether there was very little trouble. That's where the ratings came in. So on the one hand, we tried to answer the question of what a 3 means. On the other hand, we tried to summarize across many families the narrative stories that they told about similar topics. And that's where we wanted some tool that would help us to put all that information together and allow us to understand it.
Yeah, that's it. That was the magic.
That's where the
moment for
ratings
me.
came from.